guys, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new here, my name is Shamira. Be sure to subscribe down below. So for today's video, I'm going to be doing a cook with me. This meal is a typical meal that I eat during my fitness journey as well as my family. They really enjoy this meal. So I'm going to show you guys how I make it and show you the end product. So let's go ahead and get cooking. Okay guys, so for today's meal, I'm going to be doing salmon with asparagus as well as roasted sweet potatoes. So these roasted sweet potatoes I have got from Whole Foods. They are already chopped up and cubed, so that is perfect for anyone that is short on time or just truly does not feel like cutting sweet potatoes, because they can be kind of hard to cut sometimes. And the asparagus and salmon is also from Whole Foods. But you guys can find these ingredients really at any of your local grocery stores. We just like to go to Whole Foods sometimes, so that's what we have now. I will also be using some minced garlic, some Old Bay seasoning. If you guys are not familiar with this, this is perfect for if you guys are cooking seafood. It tastes amazing. It really brings out that fishy flavor. So I love Old Bay seasoning. And then I'm also going to just use some ground pepper and some organic sea salt. So this meal is fairly easy to cook. Here I have the salmon that we got from Whole Foods. So I'm going to just unwrap this and then the frozen salmon. So let's go ahead and season the salmon up. Alright, we're going to start with the basics. Just a bit of salt. I don't like to use a lot of salt because the Old Bay does have a little bit of salt in it, so there's no need to use too much of the sea salt. You can also substitute that for regular salt if that's what you have, or pink Himalayan salt. We just use sea salt here, so that's what I have. And I'm going to take some ground pepper and just get it evenly spread out over the salmon. And if you see any gaps, just don't be afraid to take your hands and kind of move it all around. And then be sure to have a napkin or anything beside you. I'm just going to take a napkin and wipe my hands. And now I'm going to take a bit of this Old Bay seasoning. You don't want to use too much of this because too much of it can be a bit too strong for your food. The taste becomes a bit overpowering, but the perfect amount is just amazing. So I'm going to kind of eyeball this and just shake out about what I think is a good amount. I don't use any measuring spoons for this, but I would say about a tablespoon to a tablespoon and a half is going to be the perfect amount for your salmon. Alright you guys, so now that I have that on, I'm going to also just take my hands and kind of evenly rub it over the fish, just to make sure that each part is evenly coated in seasoning. Next, I'm going to take the minced garlic here, and I'm going to get a spoon and just take out a little bit. You don't want to use too much. If you don't have minced garlic powder is a great alternative to this, but I'm just going to use the minced garlic, and I'm just going to kind of spread it all out over the salmon. And that right there is the oven. I have the oven preheated to about 375. That's going to be a good medium temperature to cook the salmon as well as to roast the sweet potatoes and asparagus. So I will say that I've used about a tablespoon of minced garlic, and I'm going to just use my hand to kind of spread the minced garlic out a bit more. And if you guys are real garlic lovers, you can throw on a bunch of garlic. I do really enjoy garlic, but we don't want too much garlic. Okay, and next I'm going to take some lemon. Here I also have just 2 lemon. We got these ones from Whole Foods. I'm sure you guys know that you can get lemon from any grocery store, your neighborhood grocery store, no problem. So we're just gonna cut this lemon here. I cut it down in half, and then I open it up. And then I'm just going to squeeze the lemon all over the fish. Personally, the lemon really is my favorite part of this recipe. I love the lemon. It adds up the perfect taste. It just tastes absolutely amazing. And you're going to just squeeze her, give her a good squeeze all over the lemon. Don't be afraid that you're using too much lemon juice. I honestly could probably use another lemon on this just because it is a big piece of fish, but 1 lemon will suffice. Also, sometimes while you are squeezing the lemon, the seeds in the lemon will fall out. That's no big deal. Just pick up the seeds. I've got quite a couple seeds here that did fall onto the fish, so I'm just picking these up. No big deal. Okay, you guys, so once our salmon is all prepped, I'm going to take these pieces of salmon and transfer them to a piece of aluminum foil. Alright guys, so once our salmon has been transferred to our aluminum foil, I am just going to wrap this salmon up. Doesn't need to be absolutely perfect, but just make sure that it is wrapped up. And here, as you guys can see, some of the salmon is peeking out because this piece of aluminum foil was a bit too short. So what I'm going to do is just get another piece of aluminum foil and cover that up. Alright you guys, so I've got a small piece of aluminum foil here. It is the perfect size, and I'm just going to cover it up. I think it's really important to make sure that the salmon is covered up, not necessarily perfectly, but you do want it to be covered up just because it cooks best when it's completely covered. And now I've just got a regular cookie sheet type of pan because the salmon doesn't necessarily need to cook in anything special. So I just put it in this pan here, and then I'm going to pop it in the oven for about 30 minutes. Alright you guys, so let's go ahead and prep our asparagus and our cubed sweet potatoes. So here I just have some cooking spray. I'm just going to use this to coat the pan. So I'm going to start by taking out the sweet potatoes from the package. And we may or may not need all of these sweet potatoes. I'm just going to, might as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and cook all of these. Alright, so to season our sweet potatoes, I'm going to use the same sea salt here. And I'm just going to give these a little sprinkle of sea salt. Just a small amount of pepper. And then some cinnamon. You guys can leave the cinnamon out if you don't particularly like cinnamon in your sweet potatoes, but I think it's really good. So just a little bit of cinnamon. And we're going to toss these sweet potatoes in a little bit of olive oil. So taking a spoon, I'm just going to pour out a little bit of olive oil. You want to be very careful not to use too much of this because it can rack your calories up, just because it is oil. So I'm just drizzling it over, and I would say I'm using about 1 teaspoon of olive oil. And now our sweet potatoes are ready to go. Our last and final thing to prep is our asparagus. Yeah, it really only needs about 10 to 15 minutes when cooking. So you don't want to overcook it because it will cook to basically nothing and be floppy and gross. So yes, now I'm just going to cut the bottoms of these. The bottoms are going everywhere. Okay, once the bottoms are cut, I'm just going to take a little bit of salt, just a very small amount, and kind of sprinkle it over the asparagus. Nothing huge. And then I'm also going to take a little bit of this olive oil as well and sprinkle it on there. That is not even a full cap. It is a very, very small amount because you really don't need that much with asparagus. And then I just kind of mix it all in and massage it all in. And now our asparagus is evenly coated. It has a little bit of salt, a little bit of olive oil, and I'm also going to add a small amount of pepper. And I'm going to coat my dish in this cooking oil. And now we're just gonna throw them in there. Okay, our asparagus is all prepped and ready. Like I said, I'm going to cook these for about 15 minutes just to be sure to not overcook them. Alright you guys, so here's the final meal. We have our salmon right here, our roasted sweet potatoes, and asparagus. So that is going to be it for today's video. I hope that you guys try this meal out. Let me know how you like it in the comment section down below. Be sure to subscribe and join the fam and give this video a big thumbs up. I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.
Stay one more night. Don't you know that my love is true? Let's make things right. I understand what you're going